back at Weld Central High School, just south of Keensburg. The Fort Morgan Mustangs getting ready to take on the Weld Central Rebels. And we're going to give you the starting offense tonight for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. That lineup is brought to you by Blowdorn Lumber. At blowdornlumber.com, browse the virtual showroom, view the current sales, complete a credit application, and shop the entire inventory online. Whether you're a contractor or painting your living room, at Blowdorn Lumber, you'll get the same friendly service and advice to make your job easier. Visit Blowdorn Lumber in Fort Morgan at 130 State Street. So starting tonight for the Fort Morgan Mustangs at quarterback is number 6, Joy Snyder, wide receiver Wes Anderson,
kicking off
wide receiver Austin Cosman, wide receiver Eric Kimball, running back Jared Bohm, running back Toby McBride, the line Trevor Gherkin, Jared Henderson, Ray O'Connor, Justin Wilgenberg, and Henry Weimer. Weld Central won the toss, deferred, and will kick off, so Fort Morgan will receive the ball to start the game. And as always, to receive scoring updates as they happen for Fort Morgan Mustang football games all season long, follow us on Twitter at B106 and turn on mobile notifications. Kevin, we're going over the 3A Metro standings. Elizabeth sits at 3-0, 6-2 overall. Fort Morgan, Weld Central, and Vista Peak all sit at 2-1 in league. Englewood 0-3, and Skyview sits at 0-3. So we'll see where things fall. Fort Morgan has to go out and take care of business, and we're ready to get this on. And it's going to be an onside kick, and it's going to go taken out of bounds by Fort Morgan up at about their 43-yard line. So nice starting position.
Short kick is covered by Caleb Bell
for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Kind of a weird lineup there for the Rebels.
True to form, Coach Chisholm talked about in the pregame that they don't really kick off. They do a variety of different squib and onside kicks, and there was one right there.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their 42-yard line. Joy Schneider at center. Hand off to Bohm over the right side, and he gets across the 45 out to about the 47-yard line. So that should be enough for, that's about we're going to say a 6-yard gain, out to the 48.
Second about 4.
So 2nd and 4 for the Mustangs.
That's just off-tackle power play where the fullback leads up and Bohm at the tailback position hits the hole, and from that time he really wasn't hit till he's 3 yards down the field.
So Fort Morgan, one wide receiver left, one right. I backfield. Hand off to Bohm around the left side this time. He'll be downfield far enough for the first down. He's down inside Rebel territory.
Number 25, Jared.
And he's down to about the 47-yard line, so that'll be a first down. So things looking up here early for the Mustangs. 2 plays and 1 first down.
Yeah, it wasn't until late into the second half that Fort Morgan got its first offensive first down last week. And here on 2 plays, that time same play, and they kicked it to the outside when the defensive end crashed in.
So wide receivers left and right, I backfield. This time it's going to be to McBride up the middle, and he gets it downfield and gets it across the 45, inside the 45, down to about the 43-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of about 4. Maybe 5, and it's going to bring up a second down. 2nd and 5 from the 43-yard line for the Mustangs.
Big difference between last week and this week is the running backs aren't getting hit till they're 3 yards downfield, and last week they were getting hit in their own backfield.
So 2nd down for the Mustangs. It's going to be a pass this time. Joey Schneider rolls out to his right, pass downfield. Nice pass, and caught by Austin Cosman. And he is taken down at the 32-yard line. So nice pickup there by the Mustangs on the rollout by Schneider, hitting Cosman down at the 32-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, we talked about that before the game, that in a running situation where both teams are so concentrated on running and stopping the run, it opens up the play-action pass. And as Coach said in the pregame show, Snyder's done a really good job of maturing this year.
So handoff over the right side to Bohm. He's hit early He does get it down just inside the 31-yard line.
Carry by number 25, Jared Baum. Stop by number 62.
So that's going to be a gain of 1. It's like about 2nd and 9 from the 31 for the Mustangs.
That's about the first defensive victory for Weld Central tonight. Pretty much on their heels so far.
They're Weld Central, I think you mentioned before, we match up a lot better with these kids than we did with Elizabeth last week, that's for sure. So 2nd and 9, receivers left and right, I formation. Schneider goes back to pass, looks downfield, and it's going to be a pass, and it's going to be caught. Nice. He couldn't hold on to it. Eric Flughoff down about the 4-yard line, let it get through him.
15.
Yeah, and he had both receivers wide open deep down the field, and he just couldn't deliver the ball. I think he took longer than he needed to throw that, maybe because he was getting a little pressure. But the passing game's looking good. Now we'll see what the answer is on 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs.
So we'll see who they bring in here. Richard Herrera's into the game. I saw Jared Bohm go out and Austin Cosman go out. Kyle Daniels is split left. 3-receiver bunch to the right of the line of scrimmage. Single backfield. Joey Schneider rolls out to his right, looking downfield. And so, he drops the ball, gets it knocked out of his hand, but Fort Morgan falls on it. Toby McBride falls on it back about the. They're going to mark clear back to the 42-yard line, so that's a loss of 11.
Brings up 4.
So we'll see what the Mustangs want to do here.
All right, 4th and 20 here. You know, it's kind of a no man's land, but I think even if Swetsik punts it into the end zone, you gain 20 yards on the play. But you have to believe in your defense as well.
So Flughog, I'm not sure I'm getting that out quite right, is split left. Kimball right. Joey Schneider back, looks downfield, lobs it down to the sideline down here, and it's going to be incomplete. So that's going to be a turnover on downs by the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think Flughop was wide open and he couldn't get the ball far enough downfield. And I think if he would have tried to fight back for the ball and fight through the defenders, he might have gotten a pass interference on that one. But he just kind of was complacent and sat there and let them block him away from the ball, even though they hadn't turned around to find the ball.
So Fort Morgan going on defense now for the first time tonight. Rebels take over in a scoreless game with 8:21 to go in the first period. And they said in kind of a single wing, it's going to be a pitch back, but it's taken down immediately. So it's going to be a short gain, if any, for Weld Central. They're going to give him, we'll give him a yard on that one, I guess. So it's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 40. It'll be just at the 42-yard line. So basically, it's still a 2nd and 10. But they said the Rebels are set in like a single wing type of setup. We have movement, had a flag, and we have movement in the backfield on Weld Central. So that's going to put them back 5 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 15 for Weld Central from the 37-yard line.
Folks on the radio that don't understand the single wing, it's basically double tight ends, then a wing back on each side outside the tight end, and then one back about where the tailback normally would be in the quarterback under center.
So 2nd and 15 here for Weld Central. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. And he's going to take it out. He busts through the line. And he gets it down across midfield. He gets it into Fort Morgan territory down to about the 47-yard line. That's Fort Morgan. So that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Rebels. He just kind of popped out of there. I thought he'd been stopped, and all of a sudden he just squirted out the right side and got down field for about 25 or 6 yards there.
Yeah, Fort Morgan's going to have to wrap up a lot better on these types of plays because he just kept his feet churning and kind of ran through some arm tackles.
So Rebels up to the line. It's a pitch back, goes up the middle, but he is taken down by Ray O'Connor at the 45-yard line. So nice stop there by O'Connor. That'll be a gain of 2. So that'll be 2nd and 8 from the 45 for the Rebels.
And all 4 of the backs, the quarterback and both the wing backs and the tailback, end up getting the ball. And they pretty well spread it between all 4 of them if you look at the statistics for the Rebels.
2nd down and 8 for the Rebels.
2nd and 8 for the Rebels from the 45-yard line. So real tight formation for the Rebels. Handoff, pitch back again. But this time he goes nowhere, I believe. Make sure who has the ball here.
Number 40, Arnold carries.
Arnold carries it down inside the 45. He gets it down to about the 42-yard line.
For the Mustangs.
So that's going to be a gain of 3, so it'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the 42 for the Rebels.
On that play, the quarterback pitches back to one of the wingmen in motion and then leads upfield and blocks for the runner. So he has 3 lead blockers as well as the line blocking for him.
And their quarterback is a fairly good-sized kid, 6'2", 175, should be a good blocker. Another pitch back, gets it to the 40, and he is going to be gang tackled there. Whistles blow.
The 23, Carson DeGroat.
So he's going to get down to about the 41. That'll be a gain of 1. So that's going to bring up 4th and 4.
Makes it 4th and about 4.
For the Rebels, with 5:16 and counting in the first period. No score.
Even with a whole herd of blockers, Fort Morgan defense is not bending very far and is stuffing the blockers, and we just have to wrestle through them to get to the ball carrier and bring them down.
There's a lot of kids in that scrum going in out there. So Blackston under center. Now the receivers spread left and right. He's going to roll out to his left, and it's going to be a pass downfield and way over the head of his intended receiver, and that is Tyler Nebelsick. So that is a turnover on down. So nice defensive stop there by the Mustangs.
And Fort Morgan lucked out there. His receiver, number 12, was about 5-6 yards farther downfield than the defender. And if he would have delivered an accurate pass, it would have been 6 points for the Rebels.
So State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. The State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call today, 842-4555. Fort Morgan receivers left and right. Handoff to Boehm over the right side. And he gets it down out to about the 44-yard line, I believe.
Number 25, Jared Baum with a carry for the Mustangs.
So that's going to be a gain of almost to the 45-yard line.
He's fighting hard for his yards there, twisting and turning, and as long as he holds on to that football, that's a good thing. I know early in the season he had some difficulty losing some fumbles because he tried so hard.
So receiver split left and right. Anderson left, Kimball to the right. I backfield. Handoff over the left side and breaks it outside to the 50. This is Baum to the 45, down to the 40. He gets it down, drags the tackle for about 3 yards down to Rebel territory, down to the 35-yard line.
Baum with a good carry.
So nice run there by
number 12 for the Rebels.
By Jared Baum down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he just broke out job of wrapping him up and making sure he couldn't get by as Baum applied the strip arm to him.
So 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Mustangs. Kimball right, Anderson left. McBride and Boehm in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff over the right side to Boehm this time, but he's going to be met in the backfield, and he's going to be dropped for about a yard loss back to the 36.
Jared Baum with the
line coach for the Mustangs is not going to be very happy that time. There were 2 guys for the Rebels that broke through and were on Boehm before he even got the ball.
So Fort Morgan with their second possession of the night down at the 36-yard line. You need to take advantage of these opportunities here when they're this into Rebel territory. Going to be handoff over the left side again, down to 35, out to the 30, and then taken down. He'll be marked down about the 28-yard line.
Justin Wablowski.
So that was a gain of 8 down to the 28-yard line. So that'll bring up
3rd and about 4 for the
3rd and 4 for the Mustangs.
From the Rebel 29.
They mark that back a little bit, so we'll mark it at the 29.
So I think we're definitely in 4-down territory. If we run and get 3 or 4 yards each time, we should get the first down.
So Anderson left, Kimball right, I backfield. Schneider under center. Going to hand off over the right side to Bohm. And he is past the 25 to the 20, outside to the left, down to the 15, to the 10, 5. He's going to go into the end zone, but they have flags down. So we will see what the flags are about here.
And several flags in the same area. I'm guessing that they're pointing towards the Mustangs. It's going to be holding downfield against one of the wide receivers. Nice run by Bauman. He really didn't need that block that the penalty was called on, to score. So it's a foolish mistake that'll take away the touchdown, but we should maybe still get a first down out of it. I'm not sure.
If it happened that far downfield, we'll see where they...
Holding on the Mustangs is the call.
3rd down. Happened downfield. They marked through the flags at about the 17, so it'll be marked back 10 yards from there. So it'll be about the 27-yard line. So after all that, they might get 2 yards off the penalty. They're about the 27, so that'll bring up 3rd down again. About 3rd and 2 this time from the 29.
It's a spot foul that brings it up.
So nice run there by Bohm, but it called back on that holding play. So we're getting some good blocking up front. Had one, got caught on one there, but Kimball split left. Kyle Daniels also split right. I backfield. On a 3rd and 2, handoff over the left side to McBride, or to Bohm, and he gets down to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he is going to be just short of the end zone. But Jared Bohm gets down to the 1-yard line. So nice run there. It looks like almost the same play as they did last time, except they didn't get the holding call on him this time. So he gets it down to the 1-yard line for the Mustangs.
And Bohm's running hard. A lot of these kids that are seniors are looking at this, and they only have 2 more chances, unless they make the playoffs of playing football in high school, and they want to get the most out of it and enjoy it and leave with fond memories.
So McBride and Bohm in the backfield, tight formation. Schneider under center, snap. Gives to Bohm over the right side, and there was a hole you could have driven a truck through on that one. Bohm into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game for Fort Morgan with 1:22 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan 6, Weld Central nothing.
Makes the scores.
So nice run there by Jared Bohm over the right side. So Franny Gonzalez on for the point after try. Gets the tee set up. Getting it lined up here. Snap back, down, kick is up, and looks good. It is good by Franny Gonzalez. So with the extra point, that makes it 7-0 Fort Morgan on B106 and B106.com. Back at Weld Central High School, the Fort Morgan Mustangs had just gone ahead of the Weld Central Rebels 7-0 on a nice 1-yard run by Jared Bohm. The first Morgan score of the game is brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank, a bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. When you need banking advice, stop by and see one of their loan officers Monday through Friday at 321 Ensign. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference.
Number 13 will kick off for the Mustangs.
And there's a difference this week as compared to last week. Fort Morgan establishing some dominance on the offensive line and the running game. And so far, Weld Central's had the one play that went for success, and the rest of them have been held to about 2 yards per play.
So Franny Gonzalez approaches the ball. Nice, deep kick. He's getting better all the time, and it's going to land about the goal line and go through the end zone. So nice kickoff there by Franny Gonzalez. So Weld Central will take over 1st and 10 from their 20 with 1:22 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan leading 7-0.
That kick was kind of a line drive, and neither of the return men wanted to get anywhere near it. I think they could have had a chance of catching it and keeping it in play. With a line drive, you have a chance for a better return because it doesn't give the defenders much opportunity to get down, but they say they just both looked at each other and let it go.
They looked like they were lined. Maybe they were, if they're lined up at the 10 and if it goes over their head, well, if they still have to play it even if it lands in bounds. So Rebels in a spread formation now, man in motion, left to right, handoff up the middle, and the Mustang defense hold them to a 4-yard gain, so it'll bring up a second.
Run by number 38, Alex Reese.
2nd and 6 for the Rebels from the 24-yard line. So nice interior defense there by the
makes it 2nd and 6.
By the Fort Morgan Mustangs. And we have Henry Weimer and Alex Mai, Ray O'Connor in that front line. Toby McBride. So nice stop there by the defense interior. So 2nd and 6 for the Rebels. Receivers split left and right, and they're going to be called for too much time, so that's going to set them back 5 yards. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 11 after that penalty. Quarterback Blackston acted like he had no idea that the time was even running down, but I could hear a coach up here someplace tell him to hurry up.
Yeah, you need to have one of the coaches down on the field watching that and telling the head coach and trying to get time out, because that's a huge play at this point of the game.
So man in motion from left to right. It's going to be Blackston keeping it around the left end, and he looks like he was way past the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball. They're going to give him a first down, but it looks like to me I don't see a flag anywhere though. There should have been a line judge on that someplace, but it looks like he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it. I think the refs are going to talk about that. No, they're going to give it to him.
Did you catch who caught that ball?
I did not see who that was. So 1st and 10 out at the 37-yard line for the Rebels. Nice scramble there by Blackston. Now they're back into their single wing formation, and it's going to be a handoff over the right side and stopped just across the 40 to the 41. Is the Rebel carrier, and that is number 23, and that is Carson DeGroot. So nice little pickup there of about 4. So 2nd and 6 from the 42-yard line, and this first quarter is going to come to an end. So at the end of the first quarter, the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead Weld Central Rebels 7-0 on B106 and B106.com.
It's a good time to go down.
Back at Weld Central High School in Keensburg, just south of Keensburg, actually, the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead 7-0 over Weld Central. 2nd and 6 for the Rebels from the 41-yard line. Tight formation, man. It's pitched back, and he is hit initially at the 40. Let's see where he goes from there. Oh, they're going to call
Devilsick with the carry, flag on the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Fort Morgan, I'm afraid. He was actually dropped for a 1-yard loss, but I think it's going to go against Fort Morgan. I think it's going to be have a dead ball foul on Fort Morgan.
Personal foul on the Mustangs.
And a personal foul on Weld Central, so
should be offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties, so Fort Morgan came out of that okay. So that will be a loss of 1, so that'll bring up about 3rd and 7.
Replay of she's still 2nd.
3rd and 6. No, it should be a dead ball foul, so it should be 3rd down.
First down, official saying.
Yeah, 3rd and 7, because he called it a dead ball foul, so it'll be 3rd and 7 on that 1-yard loss back to the 40-yard line.
Makes it 2nd and 6 for the Rebels.
So 3rd down. Their tight formation. Man in motion, handoff right straight up the middle and he moves the pile out to about just past the 45-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 5. So that's going to bring up about 4th and 3 for Weld Central from just outside the 35-yard line. So Fort Morgan defense here needs to stiffen up here and try to get the ball back. Hold Weld Central on 4th down here.
4th and 2.
Give them some good field position. So Weld Central in their receivers left and right, single backfield, and rolls out to his left out here, and he's going to try, and it's going to be he's going to keep it, and now it's going to be incomplete pass. So Fort Morgan did their job. They had good pressure on Blackston to the outside, and the receiver was also covered, but not a real good pass from Blackston. So that is going to be a turnover on downs by Weld Central. So Fort Morgan comes up with some excellent field position again from the Weld Central 45-yard line.
Yeah, I would think that you'd have to have the world's worst punter to not try and punt on a situation like that, because field position, unless they just feel Fort Morgan's going to score from wherever they get it, and so you just got to keep it.
So Fort Morgan receivers left and right, high backfield. Schneider fakes the handoff. It's going to be a pass downfield, and it's going to be to Fluhoff, and it's caught at the 5 and into the end zone for a Fort Morgan touchdown. That is the prettiest pass that I've seen this year that Joey Schneider has thrown, and it was right in stride to Eric Fluhoff. Caught about the 5, and he goes in untouched into the end zone for the second touchdown of the game, making it 13-0 with 10:35 to go in the second period.
Yeah, it was perfectly thrown, and good call. The Weld Central defender gave up on him. He had him covered. Kind of quit there at the end, and Fluhoff just kept running, and the ball floated right into his hands for a touchdown.
So Franny Gonzalez lining up for the point after try. Snap back, ball down. Kick is up, and it is good again. So Franny Gonzalez, 2 for 2 tonight. So that makes the score now 14-0 in favor of the Mustangs on B106 and B106.com. Back at Weld Central High School with Kevin Ruddy. This is Brian Nickel. The Fort Morgan Mustangs have just gone up 14-0 on a 45-yard pass from Joey Schneider to Eric Fluhoff. And I think that probably caught Weld Central off guard somewhat, since Fort Morgan is more prone to run the ball. It had a fake up the middle, and then Fluhoff was wide open down the right side.
And that just gives you an indication of Joey Schneider's arm strength. When he doesn't have someone hanging on him, he can throw the ball 45 yards.
So kickoff down to the 10, out to the 15, reverses his field, back out to the 20, 25, out to the 30, 35, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. And we have a late flag coming in from the referee from the other side.
And there's, I believe, a penalty on Weld Central for either a late hit or a block in the back right at the end of the play.
So the ball is marked currently at the 36-yard line. We have a illegal block in the back, I believe is what that is.
Call is holding on the Rebels.
Okay, they're going to call holding. I can't tell the refs anymore what their signal is. So that's going to be a big penalty on Weld Central. So that'll put them back to inside the 30-yard line.
Makes it 1st and 10. Rebels starting from their own 29.
So 1st and 10 from the 29.
Let's see if the Rebels have an answer for Fort Morgan's stifling defense. So far, 1 first down on each drive, and the second part of the drive just dies out on them.
So they're going to go tight formation again. Blackston under center. Calling out the fake. It's going to be a pass over the middle, but it was the receiver.
Blackston's pass
hadn't even looked back for the ball yet. That was to Grant Kennedy.
Makes it 2nd and 10 for the Rebels.
But his little jump pass there falls incomplete. So that brings up 2nd and 10 from the 29 for the Rebels.
I think the defender had a better chance of coming up on it, but I think he was so surprised that the ball was thrown without the receiver even looking. He didn't really know what to do.
So 2nd and 10 from the 29 for the Weld Central Rebels. In their tight formation, single wing formation, and we have a timeout going to be taken by Weld Central, so we're going to take a timeout along with them with 10:22 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan 14, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Weld Central High School, along with Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel with 10:22 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan 14, Weld Central nothing. First touchdown by Fort Morgan was a 1-yard run by Jared Bohm. Second touchdown was a 45-yard pass to Eric Fluhoff. And the extra points put on by Franny Gonzalez. So 2nd and 10 for Weld Central. Pitch back, then a reverse, and that goes nowhere. Eric Kimball in the backfield. He wasn't fooled. He did his job there as a defensive end. And he drops the Weld Central Rebel back to about the 24-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 5, so that'll bring up about a 3rd and 15 from the, should be from the 24-yard line. So nice defense there by Eric Kimball, staying home on his right defensive end. So 3rd and 15 for Weld Central. Tight formation. Blackson hands off up the middle and still pushing the pile out, but he gets it out to about the 20. So wait till they mark it down, about the 29-yard line. So they're back to about the original line of scrimmage. So he got that 5 yards back. So that's going to bring up 4th and 10 from the 29 for Weld Central. And this time it looks like they're going to try to punt the ball. They don't want to give Fort Morgan that kind of field position. So Weld Central is split. There you have 3 guys right at the line. And he does get the punt off. Gets it downfield. Kyle Daniels has a fair catch for Fort Morgan, and that is taken at the about the 42-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 42-yard line. Central Auto Parts, you want your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them. Purchase the best quality parts and accessories at great prices at your local Napa store. Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 42 with 9:04 to go. Run over the left side to Baum across the 50 down to the 42-yard line of Weld Central.
Number 25.
So Jared Baum with a nice run over the left side.
Pushed out by number 12, Middleton.
For Baum, so he's getting some big numbers already in this game.
That's his 3rd run up over 10 yards, not counting the one that was called back because of penalties, so he would have had 4 double-digit runs at this stage of the game.
So 1st and 10 Mustangs from the 42 of Weld Central. T backfield, one receiver split right, handoff up the middle. And that's going to be to McBride, I believe, who was in there. Yes, it is, and he gets it down inside the 40, down to about the 38-yard line.
Brought down by number 74.
So that's going to bring up about a 2nd and 6 from the 38-yard line for the Mustangs.
Only McBride's 2nd carry of the night.
Makes a 2nd and about 6.
So Anderson split wide right, T backfield. Schneider under center, handoff to McBride again right up the middle. And he has some hard-fought yardage down to the 35-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 3. So that'll be a gain, it has a gain of 3, so I'll make it 3rd and 3 from the 35 for Fort Morgan.
Brings up 3rd and 2 from about the 35.
So tough running up the middle for the Mustangs, but McBride pushes that pile.
As long as they average over 3 yards per carry, you're going to get the first down, and you're going to keep the drive alive, and you're going to demoralize the defense.
So Morgan, 2 receivers left, puts Daniels in motion, pitches it back to Daniels, and he's going to try to run wide, and he does, gets down to the 30, inside the 30, and they're ripping at that ball, but he does a good job of holding on, and he gets it down for a first down. He gets it down to the 25-yard line, I believe, of Weld Central. So nice run there by Kyle Daniels.
Oh, I think that's 41. That's Tate.
Oh, excuse me. Tate Kimball.
Nice run by the freshman there to get a first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 25-yard line of Weld Central. So the Mustangs on the march once again.
First and 10 for the
Eric Kimball right, Fluhoff left, and a handoff to Tate Kimball again over the left side, and he breaks it outside. And he is brought down at about the 20-yard line, maybe the 21.
Brought down by number 23,
So
Carson
it looks like
Grove.
it was about a 4-yard gain, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from the 21.
I'm hoping they're just giving Baum a break. Looks like maybe he's back in now.
Makes it about 2nd and 5.
It's nice to have some running backs that you can give your starters a little bit of breather, and they can come back in and run hard later in the game for you.
So 6:47 and counting in the second period. Fort Morgan 14, Weld Central nothing. Receivers left and right, I formation. McBride is back in there. Hand off to Bohm over the right side. He bounces it outside, but he is going to be brought down
Number 25
for a they give him. It looks like about the 21, so it looks like it's no gain. So it'll bring up
brings up 3rd and no gain.
still about 3rd and 6 from the 21. So no room there. He bounced it outside. The defensive end was there waiting for him. So 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs. 2 receivers left. I backfield. Schneider under center. Schneider, it's a pass. He passes it down the left side. We'll see what, and well over the head of Kyle Daniels on that pass.
Incomplete.
Had 2 defenders down there for Weld Central. So we're going to see what Fort Morgan, we know they're in 4-down territory. We'll see what Eric Fluhoff into the game. Kyle Daniels goes out.
I'm trying to think, Brian, have we seen a screen pass by the Mustangs all season long? I can't remember one. In a longer down situation with a defense that's really hustling to get back to that quarterback, that might be a smart play at this point.
So Fluhoff left. Joey Schneider looks downfield for the pass, and it's going to be caught. Nice catch there by Kimball, and he pulls away from the defenders, and he goes into the end zone for the Fort Morgan touchdown.
Schneider's pass complete to number 15, Kimball.
So nice job there by Eric Kimball. That puts the score Fort Morgan 20, Weld Central nothing, with 5:42 to go in the second period.
5:42 left.
Kimball caught that out there about the 10-yard line, runs it to the 5 where he is hit, and then runs through the tackles and goes on into the end zone. So Franny Gonzalez on for the point after try. He'll snap back, ball down, and the kick is up, and it is good.
Kick is good.
So Franny Gonzalez tacks on point number 21. So with 5:42 to go in the second period, Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Weld Central High School with Kevin Rohde. This is Brian Nickel, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs have just gone up 21 to nothing with 5:42 to go in the second period on a 21-yard pass from Joey Schneider to Eric Kimball.
15, Justin Wabrowski.
So Fort Morgan doing about what they want here and holding Weld Central on defense to basically at very few yards. So Franny Gonzalez with a nice deep kick, and it's going to go into the end zone. So Franny looks like his leg's getting stronger. His soccer is over, so he can concentrate all on Mustang football for right now.
Right. And looking at my watch, it's 7:40, and we're almost done with the first half. So, as Coach said in the pregame show, and we talked about at the beginning, it's going to be a very quick game tonight as long as both teams keep running. And
what we've seen of the Rebels' passing game, that doesn't bode well for them. They're not that they're not trying; it's just not happening. So they have a receiver left, one right, with a tight end, I guess you would call it. Pitch out to the right and taken down. Let's see where they marked him down at. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage, so it looks like it's going to be second and 10.
Short game.
Second and 10 from the 20 still for the Weld Central Rebels.
I think the Weld Central Rebels, one of the points of that offense is that you hit the hole hard and you run, and you hope that they can't figure out who has the ball, and everybody's running downfield with the ball. And their running backs seem to be a little tentative as they come to the line, like they're avoiding contact, and that's not going to work for them.
So snap by Blackston, and he rolls out to his left, throws it downfield, and it's going to be well over the head of the intended receiver, almost picked off by Eric Fluoff, but it was just barely out of his reach.
Blackston's pass intended for number 44, Kennedy.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 10
incomplete
for Weld Central from the 20-yard line.
Blackston, 1 of 4 on the night. He had a nice play of 18 where he scrambled and was questionably at the line or over the line when he threw it, but nonetheless it counted. And the rest of his passes have been pretty far off target, and that one flew off. Had kind of a tough play, but I think if he would have turned and ran like he went to catch the one he went for a touchdown, he would have caught that.
Yeah, he had to, basically I think he had one hand on it, but he was kind of turned sideways to it and couldn't get it. So Weld Central in their tight formation. Man in motion to the right, and it's going to be a keeper by Blackston, and that didn't fool anybody. So we'll see how far. They're going to mark him maybe out to the 22. So we'll give him a gain of 2, so that'll bring up a 4th and 8.
Blackston with the keeper brought down by number 62.
For Blackston, yeah, about to the, we're going to call it out to the 23. Yeah, it looks like they've marked it out a little farther out to the 23, so it'll bring up 4th and 7. In their punt formation, Weld Central spreads out all over the place on this punt formation. Snap back, and we have a flag. I don't know what the flag was in the backfield.
And we have running into the kicker as well.
So it was fair caught by Kyle Daniels at the Mustang 46-yard line.
Looks like they're talking illegal formation, Weld Central, and then running into the kicker, Fort Morgan, so we'll repunt.
Yeah, 'cause I saw one flag come out early before the guy had got back to the punter. So in that type of a formation, you got to know where you've got to be.
Right.
Then we have a running into the kicker. So they offset, so it will be a 4th down again, like Kevin said, so 4th and 7.
Bottom line on offense, when you have the ball, you have to have at least 7 players on the line of scrimmage, and I'm guessing that one of their wide people were off the line.
So Weld Central lined up to punt again, and we have a whistle. And it looks like we have a timeout here by Weld Central, so we'll take one with them with 4:17 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. With Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel at Weld Central High School, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead 21-0 with 4:17 to go in the second period. 4th and 7 for Weld Central. In punt formation, Kyle Daniels back for Fort Morgan at about the 47-yard line of Fort Morgan. Snap back, not a real good snap, but it's going to be a short punt. Hard to see just where it's going. It lands at about the 40 of Weld Central and takes a good roll for Weld Central down to about the 49-yard line of Fort Morgan.
Still good field position for the Mustangs. To explain that formation to our fans at home, basically they took their tackle and their end, the 2 outside guys on each side of the line, and moved them all the way out to the sidelines. And so they had 3 linemen in the middle and then a back on each side and then the punter.
So they're trying to do a little trickery here. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs with 4:07 to go in the second period. Receiver left and right, I formation. Schneider hands off to Bohm over the right side. He gets it across the 50 and gets down maybe down to the 49-yard line. So he's going to have a gain of 3, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs. They're going to mark it just on the other side of the 50-yard line. So instead of bouncing it outside, Bohm tried to go up the middle a little bit and was greeted there by a couple of Weld Central Rebels. So receivers left and right. Hand off to McBride up the middle down to the 45 to the 40. He's far enough for a first down. He's still fighting. Whistle's finally blow, and he gets it down inside the 40-yard line to the, see if they mark it at the 39.
15, Wablowski.
They're going to put it right at, we're going to call it the 39-yard line. So that's going to be enough for a 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 39-yard line of Weld Central.
And Weld Central really doesn't have any answer for Fort Morgan's power running because they have to respect the pass.
So Fort Morgan handoff right side this time to Jared Bohm, I believe. And we have a flag on the play, but I believe Weld Central didn't. They had too many men on the field. The guy was trying to get off the field, but I think he was still on the field when the snap took place.
Right, that's exactly what the call is going to be.
So Fort Morgan, I would guess, would take that penalty for a free 5 yards and make it 1st and 5. Now, are they waving it off? Is that what that was?
I think they're waving him off, probably saying he was close enough to the end line that he didn't have come into play, and maybe looking at the scoreboard saying 21-0. Does Fort Morgan really need a free 5 yards? Although that's really not the spirit of officiating. They certainly, I wouldn't say that's what they're doing.
For the Mustangs.
So 2nd and 4 for the Mustangs from just inside the 35-yard line. 2 receivers right, eye backfield. Schneider under center, and he rolls out to his right. Looks out here to Kimball. Nice catch out here by Kimball. And hit hard after he catches the ball.
Schneider's
looks like he's going to be right inside the 30-yard line, and I believe they're going to go ahead and
for the Rebels.
See if they're going to measure this. Yes, they're going to take time out to measure this. See if he picked up the first down or not. Premier Farm Credit is still the lender of choice for America's farmers and ranchers. They understand and are passionate about agriculture and are dedicated to serving America in good times and bad. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. MMI International. Before your next mixer or feeder truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. They continually outperform our competitors, hands down. Call them at 842-5161.
First down for the Mustangs on the measurement.
So it looks like, Kevin, they picked up a first down on that pass out to Eric Kimball.
28 or so.
Second catch by Kimball. Snyder on the night, 4 for 7. He's over 50% and throwing much better.
Yeah, he's looked good tonight. But, he's had a year of practice in here, so it should be coming along. It'll be look good for next year. We'll get this year taken care of. First, we have receivers split left, 2 left. Schneider hands off over the right side, and no running room there for Jared Bone. He's going to have about a yard loss. And now
25 for the Mustangs. Bob caught in the backfield by number 7.
Fort Morgan is taking a timeout.
70 Zimmerman for the Rebels.
This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. So 2:11 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan leading 21-0, 2nd and 12 for the Mustangs from about the 32-yard line, 31-yard line.
Right, and with 2:11 left, it'd be nice to get one more score in. You have this game well under your hand at 21-0, but why not get in and go in at 28-0 and
completely demoralize this Weld Central team. So 2nd and 12. Have McBride in the backfield. Daniels to the left with trips right. Schneider back to pass, and he looks out here to the right. It's going to be a pass downfield and over the head
Schneider's pass
of Jose Fadoa. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 after that incomplete pass for the Mustangs, well over the head of Fadoa.
That was a well-conceived play. They had Fadoa release out of the backfield, and the linebacker picked him up but couldn't stay up with them. And the cornerback tripped. If the ball would have been delivered on target, that would have been 6 points.
So that stops the clock with 2:05 to go in the second period. Two receivers, right, I backfield. McBride and Bohm in the backfield. Schneider, a quick pass out to the.
Schneider's pass
was knocked down by a lineman. It was going to be a quick flare out to the right. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 12 from the 31 for the Mustangs.
Kind of looks like from here that maybe the offensive linemen are resting on their laurels, thinking we're up 21-0 at a time when they should be going out there and punishing those defenders across from them. They're letting them get a little fired up by letting them through to block passes and to tackle Bohm in the backfield.
So 4th and 12 for the Mustangs. Now we have, looks like we're going to have another timeout by Fort Morgan. So we'll take a timeout with them with 2:02 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com.
Timeout for one. Designed by law.
Back at Weld Central High School in Keensburg. Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing. 4th and 12 for the Mustangs. Receivers left and right. High backfield. Schneider drops back, looks downfield, looks. It's going to be a pass, and it's going to be, incomplete. About the time the ball got there, the receiver was hit. I think that was Eric Kluhoff, I believe. We have a flag in the backfield. Looks like it must be something against Fort Morgan. I would guess they would decline it. I didn't see what the penalty was. Personal foul, face mask on Fort Morgan.
Personal foul, face mask on the Mustangs.
So that is going to be a turnover on downs by Fort Morgan. So Weld Central holds, leaving the score at 21-0
from the 31.
with 1:55 to go in the second period.
Now Fort Morgan's defense has to stay tough and not let this team get back in it with a little bit of momentum. Stop them for 4 and out here.
So 1st and 10 from the 34, Weld Central. Tight formation. Man in motion, handoff up the middle, and he gets it across the 35 out to the 40. And he's going to be just short of the first down. They're marking out to about the 41.
It'll be close to a first down.
Depends which way he looks, whether he looks at the left one or the right one. He looked at the Fort Morgan judge because we got about a yard break on that one.
So it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 40. Man in motion, pitch back, and he is going to be initially hit, but he drives the pile out across the, I'm going to say out just across the 35. Or excuse me, not the 35, the 45.
Allen with the carry.
So it'll be a 1st and 10
the Mustangs. First down, Rebels.
for the Rebels at the just outside the 45-yard line. So tight formation, 1st and 10. Man in motion, pitches back to him. Gets to the 45 to the 50 and brought down. They're going to mark him at about the
Carry number 15 with
Mustang 49-yard line.
Kimball.
And bring up offense here, so it's going to be a 2nd and 5. And they spiked the ball to stop the clock. I thought Weld Central still had one timeout left, but so it's going to be a 3rd and 5 for Weld Central from the 49-yard line of the Mustangs. So 3rd and 5 for Weld Central with 1:01 to go in the second period. Blackston rolls out to his right, makes a complete pass, but it's going to be for a loss of about 2 yards back to their 48-yard line.
Pass completed for a short loss.
So Weld Central will take a timeout here. And it will bring up a 4th, about a 4th and 7 for Weld Central from their own 49-yard line. So the use their timeout now. That 3rd and 5 may, or second, whenever they called their, when they spiked the ball on 2nd and 5. It's kind of a wasted down, but that's what they chose to do. So this brings up about a 4th and 7.
Right.
For Weld Central with 51 seconds to go in the second period.
And it'll be somewhat of a moral victory for Fort Morgan to stop them here and go in down 21-0.
So Weld Central, go ahead.
So we did let them kind of get a little bit mentally back in the game. They're a little more fired up and feeling good about themselves.
So receivers left and right, single back in the backfield, quick pass out, and well over the head of the intended receiver. I'm not sure what he was looking at there. So that's going to be a turnover on down. So Fort Morgan will have 48 seconds to go. 48 seconds left in the second period to see what they can do.
Turnover on down, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
I'm thinking that the only guy who could have caught that pass was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he's retired and didn't play football to begin with.
Yeah,
that was quite tall for the situation.
So 48 seconds left to go. In the second period, Morgan up 21-0. 2 receivers, right, 2 left, single back in the backfield. Snyder in the shotgun formation, looking downfield, and he's being rushed. And he throws it downfield. Let's see if it's going to be a complete pass. Attempted to Anderson, but incomplete at about the 5-yard line.
Snyder's pass is interfered.
He was flirting with the line of scrimmage there also, I think.
Broken up by the Rebels.
In a game where you have 7 officials, 2 more on the sidelines, they're going to catch those sort of things here. The head referee is in the backfield trying to watch the pocket, and he's not going to be able to necessarily see that.
Rebel dance team out there for you.
So 2nd and 10 for Fort Morgan. Receiver right and left, head off to Bohm over the right side. He's down to the 45, to the 40. He gets it down inside the
25,
just down to the 35-yard line for a first down.
For the Mustangs.
So that brings up a 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. So that stops the clock momentarily.
10 Mustangs from the 35. Clock will continue to run.
So 3 receivers right. Tate Kimball, I believe, in the backfield. Snyder under center. And I have lost. It was an inside handoff to Tate Kimball, and he takes it down to about the
flag on the play,
15-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
I'm guessing an illegal formation.
I guess that was more of a draw play, I guess is what it was.
It's kind of the old sprint draw that the Mustangs ran kind of as their signature play under the call era, and except this one is kind of a cross buck, and he cuts it back. They ran it once last week and didn't have any success against Elizabeth with it.
On the Mustangs.
Not sure what that indication was.
Possibly illegal substitution or 12 men on the field.
So that sets the ball back. Well, they haven't marked it off yet. That's a 5-yard penalty back to about the 39-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 39. For the Mustangs, they're still trying to get the ball set. 18 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 15 from the 39. Looks like Fort Morgan's just going to kneel on the ball. And they do. So that
clock fails to start.
With 18 seconds left, Schneider to take a knee for the Mustangs.
So that will bring the Fort Morgan looks like they're walking off the field. Well, Rebels are making sure that Fort Morgan doesn't come back out and run the ball, I guess. So at the end of the first half, the Fort Morgan Mustangs 21, the Weld Central Rebels nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Weld Central High School, just south of Keensburg on a beautiful night. Couldn't ask for anything better on a late October night. Have a slight breeze coming from the west, but not too bad. It's sure a lot better than what it could be, what they're calling for coming in on next Tuesday. But the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead 21-0 here, and they will be kicking off to Weld Central. giving Weld Central an offense on their first possession. But couldn't ask for better weather here, Kevin, for late October.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, at game time, there's absolutely no breeze now. There's a little bit of a breeze out of the west, and that's making it a little bit nippy for us. But, perfectly dry field, good playing conditions. The athletes can get out there, get warmed up, and get in the groove. And certainly not. I remember game 9 last year was at Skyview, and we were in the rain, and I didn't think I'd ever be that cold.
Yeah, it was a pretty miserable day. We were outside broadcasting that game, and it got out of control fairly quick. But still standing out there, and it wasn't just a little rain. It was raining pretty good, and wind was blowing, and it was cold, and it wasn't a pleasant afternoon for man nor beast. But I guess we were out there anyway.
And we'll pray that next Saturday is the weather holds, and we have one more nice football game weather. 'Cause we'll be outside again. I don't know if we mentioned that to the folks in Radio Land, but we're outside on top of the building tonight. And, next week, I believe there isn't even a press box at the field. The scorer must do it on the sidelines or something. And so we'll be outside again, and if it's snowing and you hear chattering, that'll be my teeth.
And, next Saturday we will be at Vista Peak Prep, and that will be in Aurora. And I believe that game is at 12 o'clock. Next week at Vista Peak, which is out in Aurora. So Weld Central has their team out ready to receive the kick. They stand back about the 5-yard line. Freddie Gonzalez getting the ball teed up for the Mustangs. 12 minutes on the clock. Period 3, 21-0 in favor of the Mustangs. And as always, to receive scoring updates as they happen for Fort Morgan Mustang football games all season long, follow us on Twitter at B106 and turn on mobile notifications. So Franny Gonzalez with the ball teed up, approaches, kicks. It's a low squib kick. Hits about the 10, picked up about the 1, back out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, bounces it outside to the 20, 25, and held on to and brought down by Frank Rosales of the Mustangs. So nice little return there by the Weld Central Rebels. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels at the 30-yard line.
Fort Morgan's going to have to get that motivation back going, because it appears as Weld Central went down and, went in at half and got fired up, and they're ready to go.
So Weld Central comes out in their formation, single wing formation, Blackson under center, and it's a pitch to the back, out to the 30, and hit by Richard Herrera at about the 33, and then they fall out to about the 35-yard line. So that's a gain of 5, so it'll be a 2nd and 5 from the 35 for the Weld Central Rebels.
That outside run, they haven't done very many outside runs, mostly trying to stay between the tackles.
So Weld Central 2nd and 5 from the 35. Now they're in their split formation, receiver left and one right. Number 38 comes in late, gets set up on the left end of the line. Kind of an H-back. It's going to be a handoff over the left side. Number 15, and he is going to go down at about the 37-yard line.
Tripped up by number 7.
So that's going to be a gain of 2.
O'Canis for the Mustangs.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 3 from the 37-yard line for Weld Central.
Good hard running and some stiff defense by the Fort Morgan Mustangs.
3rd and 3 for the Rebels.
3rd and 3. Spread formation, receiver left and right, eye backfield. Going to be a handoff up the middle, and he is See what kind of progress he gets. There's going to be a flag come in. He's going to be short of the first down. We're going to see what the flag is all about. It came from the referee. It's going to be a 5-yard face mask, I believe, against...
Hard carry for the Rebels on 15, Woblowski.
5-yard face mask against...
Flag is on the play.
The Mustangs, so that'll be enough to...
Give the Rebels a first down.
Get the first down, so that'll put it out to the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Rebels from their own 45-yard line.
True to form, every drive Weld Central's gotten the ball, they've gotten a first down, and then it's usually the second set of downs that they stammer.
So man in motion, handoff over the left side, and he has brought down a ankle tackle out to about the 48-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 3, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7.
About 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 for the Rebels.
They mark it out about the 48-yard line, so I'm going to say a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 47 of Weld Central. Weld Central down 21-0 here with 9:43 and counting in the third period. Weld Central in their tight formation. This time it's a pitch back to number 15. Initially grabbed about the 45, but he breaks that and is out to into Mustang territory to about the 48-yard line.
Pick up about another 3.
So that's going to bring up about a 3rd and
Makes it
third and 3 from the 48 of the Mustangs.
Big play for the Mustangs here to stop this drive and get the ball back for the first time in the second half.
So Weld Central up to the line of scrimmage, tight formation. Blackston under center. It's going to be a pitch back about the 50. And he is not going to, he might get to the
toss.
He fell forward there, so he may get the first down yardage. I'm trying to see where they are marking this at. They're saying 4th down, but now they're going to take a timeout. To measure. It's going to be close.
Got to give those chain gang guys a chance to get their exercise and warm up too.
Yeah, all of a sudden here we're getting a little bit of a breeze here.
And it's getting cold when the cheerleaders put on their warm-up pants and their cover-ups. Of course, they were brave. They were out here with bare legs and their short skirts.
First down for the Rebels.
First half, so got to give them credit for that.
First and 10 from the Mustang 45.
So they do just get the first down by the nose of the ball. So that is the second first down that the Rebels get here on this drive. And that'll be, we'll say it's from the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Rebels from the 45. Wide formation. Blackston under center, single back. And he's going to roll out to his left, looks downfield. It's going to be a pass and hits the ground at about the 35-yard line. There was a Mustang down there. Jason Lenhart was the closest one. But you'd have to be a gopher to pick that one up. It hit on the ground out there before he could get to it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what exactly is going through the minds of the Weld Central coaching staff. I guess you need to change it up to make Fort Morgan play honestly on defense and not put 8 up in the box to stop your run. But there's nothing that Blackston's done to give me any indication that he's going to be able to complete a pass on any kind of regularity.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 45. Man in motion left to right, and it's going to be a pitch back to him to the 50, down to the 45, down to the 40, and knocked out of bounds.
Nebelsack with the carry.
Nebelsack with the carry, and he's going to be knocked out about the 40. So that's going to be a gain of 5 yards on that run. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Rebels.
I would think they'd run that play. It's a quick pitch to a guy who's in motion. They'd run that several times and then fake it and do a cross back across. Because Fort Morgan's really pursuing well. And that's kind of how offensive coaches do, is they try and think about how they can run one play and get the team thinking that's going to be it, and then run something that takes advantage of that.
So man in motion again. This time he's back to pass. We have a flag on the play that stops.
Flag on the play.
Stops the play, so it's going to be against Weld Central unless Fort Morgan was offside. It looks like they're going to mark it off against Weld Central.
And again, Weld Central gets a drive going and then has a penalty or some sort of play that kind of puts them in a hole. And they're not really the kind of offense that can pick up 3rd and 10 very easily.
There's the call on the Rebels.
That'll take it back.
It's a 3rd and 10.
So that will make it 3rd and 10 from their Mustang 45-yard line. Receivers left and right. Single back in the backfield. Man in motion left to right. And handoff up the middle this time. And he'll get it down, inside the 40.
Number 38, Alex Reese.
He gets it down to about the 37, 38-yard line.
By number 72 for the Mustangs.
So that'll bring up a 4th down
Annis.
for Weld Central.
Yeah, manageable 4th and 3. Would have been nice if the Mustangs could have stopped that. But they had about 8 guys all pushing downfield, and someone needs to submarine that play and trip them up.
So 4th down here. Fort Morgan looking to stop this drive. Have one receiver split way left and one right. Eye backfield with a man just to the left, and they're going to be downfield enough for the 1st down.
Wroblewski with a hard carry. Should be a 1st down.
So 1st down for the Weld Central Rebels, just down inside the 35. We'll see if they mark it.
Stop the give by number 72 of the Mustangs.
We'll say at the 34-yard line.
Nice drive put together by the Weld Central Rebels. At this pace, though, they'll run out of time before they score 3 touchdowns to catch up.
So receiver left and right, single back in the backfield, fake handoff and pass down to the right sideline, and that is going to be intercepted. Oh, he was out of bounds. It was Richard Herrera came up with the ball, but he was out of bounds. We have a referee down in the backfield. He must have got run over. I didn't see what was going on. I was watching the pass.
Looks like maybe saw in his face that maybe got hit in the nose or something.
He was laying
face down
on the ground. So I'm not sure just what was happening there. Well, I think that's the first time I've seen it this year, a referee going down, but he's up now. So he's feeling a little ill, but he'll survive.
Still holding his face like maybe as the defender was tackling the quarterback, he fell back and swung his arm.
Yeah, he looks like he's...
Now maybe he's moving his knee, like his knee is hurt, but he keeps holding his face. Hard to tell. I didn't see it because I was watching the ball downfield.
Yeah.
And like you say, we looked back, and here he was face down. Luckily, it was just him getting hit or tripped up or something. You'd hate to see someone have a heart attack or something in the middle of the game. That would certainly put a pall on the game.
That's for sure. So he's up, so good for him. He's up and at it. We'll continue on, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 after that incomplete pass from the 34-yard line for Weld Central. I think they moved the ball back. Looks like they have it on about the 35 now. So Weld Central in their tight formation. Blackston under center, and he hands it off up the middle. Not much there. He gets it down maybe to the 34.
Still down under the pile.
To the 34-yard line. It's still going to be... Trying to figure... Yeah, they give it to the 34.
Makes it about 2nd and 9.
We'll say 2nd and 9. From the 34-yard line.
It sure looked like he gained some yards on that. Fort Morgan getting some penetration now on the offensive line or defensive line.
So 3rd and 9. Pitch, and it's on the ground, picked up, but he is going to be tackled for a loss back to about the 37-yard line, 38-yard line. So nice hustle defense there by the Mustangs to bring down the running back after he mishandled the pitch to him. So that's going to bring up
4th and about 14.
4th and Yeah, about 4th and 14.
Good defensive stand here. Again, Fort Morgan making a few mistakes, I should say Weld Central making a few mistakes. So
4th and 14. A fake handoff and back to pass. He gets out of one tackle, throws it downfield, and it's going to be over the head of his intended receiver.
Blackston's pass intended for number 15.
So Blackston gets up holding his hand. He already has tape on it. But that was a nice defensive stand there by the Mustangs.
They'll turn it over on downs.
After quite a drive by Weld Central, takes it down to 5:26 in the third period. So Fort Morgan. So that'll bring up a 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 37-yard line. Handoff over the right side to Bohm. He gets it outside across the 40, 45, 50, 45 of the Weld Central Rebels.
Number 25, Baum with a good carry.
So nice run there around the outside edge on the right side by Jared Bohm. He gets it down to the Rebel 45-yard line.
we were a little distracted there. Weld Central being really good hosts. They gave us burritos when we first got here and just brought me a nice cup of coffee. And so we had to take a break to thank them for that.
Fort Morgan I formation, receivers left and right from the 44. Handoff over the left side, hit in the backfield initially and brought down for about a 2-yard loss back to the 46-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 from the 46 for the Mustangs. Kimball goes wide right. Eric Fluhoff to the left. I formation. Schneider under center. Handoff to McBride up the middle. But he is hit as he might get about 2 yards back to the 45-yard line. Give him one back to the 45, so that'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Met by Carson DeGroat.
So not much running room there.
No gain. Makes it
for the Mustangs right now. Areo Conis goes off. Looks like he's holding his left arm.
And 3rd and long for the Mustangs. They seem to be able to pass tonight. Weld Central bringing up 8 players and putting them in the box to stop the run.
So I formation, receivers left and right. Schneider back to pass, has time, and over just out of the hands of Austin Cosman. I think if he had that over, he should have had that right in his hands and went on through. That'll bring up a 4th and 11 from the 45 for the Mustangs after that incomplete pass to Austin Cosman.
And he also had the receiver a little bit farther downfield wide open. And at first I thought the pass was that to him, but it probably would have been a little short to him, a little long for Cosman.
So it looks like Tony Swetzik in for the first punt of the game for the Mustangs. And they're trying to get people in and out. I think maybe because Areo Conis was hurt, they were trying to figure out another lineman. And I don't know if they're going to get this. They're not going to get this play off either. It's called. They probably won't waste the timeout. They'll just probably back them up 5 yards. And I was wrong. They called the timeout. So with this timeout, we will take it with them with 3:57 to go in the third period. Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. With Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel back at Weld Central High School, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead 21-0 with 3:57 to go in the third period. Fort Morgan facing a 4th and 11. Tony Swetzik in to punt. Nice snap back. Nice punt off. Looks like it's off to the right a little bit. Bounces at about the 37-yard line and then goes out of bounds. Or the 27-yard line, excuse me. It looks like it'll be a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 Rebels.
For the Rebels from the... Looks like they're going to mark it at about the 31-yard line.
3:50 left in the
so 3:50 to go in the third period.
Mustangs 21, Rebels 0.
Weld Central takes over.
Important thing is they ate up some of the time on the clock and got some field position back, and so now Weld Central has a long field.
So tight formation, pitch back, gets it out across the 35, and he'll get out maybe to the 37-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 6 out to the 37. So that'll bring up a second and 4 for Weld Central. See where they mark this ball at. They're going to mark it clear out to the 38-yard line.
Makes it 2nd and about 4 for the Rebels.
So still 2nd and 4 from the 38. They get that pile moving there, and it's kind of hard for the Mustangs to stop it. They have about 7 or 8 guys in on that mess. So now the pitch back to the left, and he breaks it, and it's hit hard at about the 40 by Richard Herrera, but he does fall forward to about, he'll be just short of the first down marker. It's just outside the 40, so we'll call it at the 40. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 from the 40.
Makes it about 3rd and 1.
For Weld Central, 2:46 to go in the 3rd period.
That was a really good defensive play there, coming up and making the stop because he was headed towards open field.
So Weld Central in no hurry, that's for sure, to get up to the line of scrimmage. They're in their tight formation. Blackston under center. It's a handoff over the right side. He will have enough for the first down. And he keeps his feet churning. He gets it across the 45 out to the 46-yard line.
Carson DeGroat with a nice pullback carry to get the first down.
So that'll be enough for a first down for the Weld Central Rebels with 2:17 to go in the 3rd period. So he keeps his feet churning, and gets it out to about the 46-yard line. So nice determination there by, I believe it was DeGroot that ran that out there. Tight formation. Man in motion, left, right, pitch back to him at the 45. Gets it, breaks it out across the 50, across the 45 to the 40, and finally brought down inside Fort Morgan territory at about the 33-yard line. That's been about the best
with a good carry of about 20,
best running play for the Rebels tonight. So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Weld Central from the 35-yard line.
Nice carry there by Nebelsick.
So 1st and 10, Weld Central from the 35. Man in motion, pitch back again through the 35. He tries to bounce it outside. This time he is met almost at the line of scrimmage. You'll see where they mark the ball at. They're going to give him, was 1st and 10 at the 35. We'll give him 1 down to the 34-yard line. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 for the Rebels.
For Weld Central, the minute 16 and counting in the 3rd period. So once again, the tight formation for Weld Central. Man in motion. This time it's going to be a handoff up the middle. And he's going to get it down to about the 30-yard line, it looks like.
Alex Reese pulled back with a heavy carry.
So we'll call a gain of 4 down to the 30. So it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 5.
Makes it about 3rd and 5.
From the 30-yard line for Weld Central. So one thing about Weld Central, they don't deviate from their game plan, that's for sure, no matter what the score. 32 seconds to go. Tight formation. Pitch back. Initially hit at the line of scrimmage, then falls forward, but he's going to be short of the first down. He gets down
Nebelsick with a carry,
couple of yards. Gets it down to the 32. We'll call it the 32-yard line, so it'll bring up about a 4th and 2.
Makes it about 4th and 3.
With about 6 seconds to go in the 3rd period.
We're going to let the clock run out, and we'll go to the 4th quarter.
So at the end of the 3rd quarter, Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. With Kevin Ruddy, this is Brian Nickel bringing you Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Tonight from Weld Central High School, south of Keensburg, the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead 21-0, beginning of the fourth period. Weld Central on a drive that started at their own 31-yard line.
All right, start of fourth quarter. 4th and 3.
So it's 4th and 2 here for the Rebels. So we'll see what Fort Morgan can do. It's going to be a keeper by Blackston. He breaks it down inside the 20, but he fumbles the ball. We'll see if Fort Morgan can get on it. Kyle Daniels picks it up at the 10. Then he is tackled at about the 15. And
fumbled by Blackston.
Blackston got nailed. He was feeling that one. He's holding his wrist again. But a turnover there, first turnover here for the Mustangs tonight. So that will be Mustang football at the 15-yard line. So Blackston had the first down, but he was nailed hard, and the ball came loose. And he's feeling it on that right hand. He's not feeling real well. So 11:49 to go in the game. Handoff over the right side to Bohm. He gets it out to the 20. He might be just short of the 20.
Number 25, Bohm.
We're going to call it the 19-yard line. So that'll bring up a second and 5.
His 19th carry on the night. He's, again, definitely the workhorse for Fort Morgan. As I imagine he will be throughout the rest of the season. He's really running in good form at this point.
So Fort Morgan receivers left and right, I formation. Hand off to Bohm again over the left side. He breaks it outside. He's out to the 25. Maybe just short of the 25.
Bohm with the carry, slip down.
They're going to mark him back at about the 23-yard line.
It's a gain of about 3.
So that's going to be 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2 to get to the first down.
All right, that one he had a lot of open territory to the outside, and then at the last minute decided to cut it in and just allowed us to split him.
3rd and 2. It looks like Schneider's going to try to take it up the middle. And we'll see if he giving
keeper by Schneider.
The close ref is right on the 25-yard line, so that should be enough for a first down. We'll see what they try to see where they mark it at, and they do give him the first down. So nice
first down Mustang.
Nice run there by the Mustangs to get that first down, keep the clock running. 10:20 to go in the fourth period.
And reminiscent of last year, where anytime it was short yardage, we'd do the quarterback sneak up the middle, and had quite a bit of success with that.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 25-yard line. Receivers left and right, I formation. Handoff over the right side, and that's going to go to Jared Bohm again. Looks like they're going to mark him out to the, let's say, the 28-yard line.
Ball with the carry, stopped by number 62, Brandon Eskew.
Say the 28. That'll be a gain of 3.
Second about 7.
2nd and 7 from the 28. For the Mustangs, leading 21-0 with 9:35 and counting in the game. Receivers left and right, I formation. Snyder under center. Handoff right up the middle to McBride. He gets it out across the 30, maybe about to the 31 or 2. We'll see where they mark it after the unpile.
Stopped by number 52.
They're going to
Street.
Mark it. It looks like out to the 32-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 4. So it'll be about 3rd and 3 from the 32-yard line for the Mustangs.
Only McBride's 6th carry of the night.
So receivers left and right. I formation, hand off to Bohm over the right side. He breaks it outside. If we can get a block out here, he gets it out to the 35. And not quite to the 40, but he does pick up the first down for the Mustangs.
Carried by number 25, Ball.
They're going to mark him out at the 39-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 7. So 1st and 10 Mustangs from the 39-yard line, 8:43 and counting in the game. Fort Morgan leading 21-0. No scoring here in the second half. That was the score at halftime.
Official winding the clock, but the clock keeper not seeing that.
Not starting the clock. So Fort Morgan with the first down. Handoff up the middle, but not much there. Looks like it's going to be a loss. We'll see where they end up marking this. It was on the 39. We'll give him
Carry
a
by
loss
number
of
32,
1, so it's
Brian.
going to be 2nd and 11
Brought
from
down
the
on
38.
backfield by number 23, Carson DeGroat.
It was kind of a broken play. I don't know if McBride went to the wrong side or Snyder turned the wrong way, but it's kind of an awkward handoff, and by the time he did secure the ball, the defenders were on him.
So for Morgan, Eric Kimball, right, Fluhoff to the left. High formation with Bone and McBride in the backfield. Schneider under center. It's a fake handoff. A pass over the middle and incomplete to Austin Cosman. Schneider probably could have taken a little bit off of that ball. It was a pretty tough pass.
Number 10.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 11 for the Mustangs after that incomplete pass.
Yeah, I was thinking touch. That was the word I was thinking, where he needed some touch on that one.
11.
You know, we were talking on the way up here about the Broncos and what a great season they're having. Kind of a disappointing loss, but we mentioned Wes Welker. I think Wes Welker could have caught that, and that would be about the only guy.
Yeah. So 3rd and 11, handoff to Bohm. He breaks it out to 40, not quite to the 45. They're going to mark him. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to give it forward progress out to the
Carried by number 25.
maybe the 43-yard line. We're going to say the 43, so that's going to bring up about a 4th and
about 6 for the
4th
Mustangs.
and 5 for the Mustangs. Tony Swetzik in again. In punt formation.
Number 1 for the Mustangs back to kick. Wetzel.
7:22 to go in the game and counting. Snap back to Swetzik. Nice punt. Gets some great distance on that. Lands at about the 20. Bounces down inside the 5. And picked up, and is going to be not brought down yet. Nice tackle there. They're calling a flag on that for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Flag on the play.
I think he got him by the headgear as he was trying to duck underneath the tackle. Fort Morgan really having trouble getting down low on their tackles in the open field, and I think that's like maybe the 2nd or 3rd time we've been called for being up around the headgear.
So it will be a 1st down for Weld Central, but they're going to call a personal foul. They call a face mask. I don't think he had the face mask. He might have had him by the back of the helmet, but
Same signal.
same thing. So 7:06 to go
Bring it up to the 20 for the Rebels.
in the game, with Fort Morgan leading 21-0. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Weld Central. And they come back out in their tight formation. I see Blackson on the sideline, so he is out right now. That wrist has bothered him. And their runner breaks it outside. He's not giving up anything, and he is driving. He gets it out to almost midfield. He gets it out to the 48-yard line.
Bogolski with the good carry.
So nice run there by the Weld Central Rebels on that 1st and 10 play.
And 66 Mike.
So that'll bring up another 1st and 10, and this time from the 48-yard line.
Old 48.
So a 28-yard run there for Weld Central. 6:48 to go in the game. Just trying to see who the quarterback is for B.J. Gutka for Weld Central. And it's a pitch back and a reverse out this way, but it didn't fool Eric Kimball. He was right there. He stayed home at his defensive right end, and he dropped the runner back inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. So that's a loss of 4. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 14 from the 44 for Weld Central. Nice defensive stop there by Eric Kimball.
It's just nice to see both of these teams out there really competing. You know, probably both of their seasons are looking like maybe they're done at the end of next week, but we still got a quarter and a game of football to play.
Roll out to the right, complete pass out to the 45, so that's only going to be a gain of 1.
Number 88, Sampson.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 13.
3rd and about 12.
Yeah, they mark it out to the 46. They have a hard time deciding where they want to put the ball down. So 5:34 to go in the game. Fort Morgan leading 21-0. Weld Central with the ball and in no hurry to try to get downfield to put the ball in the end zone. So they have receivers left and right, single back. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle, but he is met at the line of scrimmage. Nice defensive stand there by the Fort Morgan Mustangs up the middle there.
Carson agree with the carry. Met at the line of scrimmage by both Mustangs.
It is going to be, I'm going to say, a loss back to the 45, so it's going to be 4th and 14 from the 45. Nice defensive stand by the interior of the Fort Morgan Mustang defense. So 4:45 to go and counting in the game. 4th and 13, Weld Central goes for it. Receivers left and right, single back in the backfield. And pass out here to the right, and it is caught about the 48, out to about the 50 to the 45. We'll see if they give him forward progress. Oh, it all depends on the spot of the ball, if they give him the first down or not. We'll see if he's
going to be close to
right foot or left foot.
That's right. Well, it looks like from here, they gave him the first down. That was a...
Well, that was generous.
Yeah.
Generous spot from where that official was on the sideline.
So into Fort Morgan territory at the 42-yard line for Weld Central. Back to their tight formation. 1st and 10 in motion. Pitch back down to the 40. And trying to see where they get it down inside the 42, about the 37-yard line.
Nebelsack with the carry. Good gain.
So that'll be a gain of about 4 down to the 37-yard line.
Makes it 2nd and about 6.
2nd and 6 for the Weld Central Rebels. 3:46 to go in the game. Tight formation for Weld Central. Gets the ball. It's a pitch back. Pitches to the 40, and he gets it down inside the 35, where he is met by about 4 Mustangs. So that's going to be down inside the 30, just inside the 35-yard line. So that's going to bring up about 3rd and 4 from just inside the 35-yard line.
3 for the Rebels from the Mustang 35.
So 3:05 to go in the game. Weld Central on the march, and the quarterback is a keeper, and I'm not sure just exactly where he was. Looks like they may give him, they're going to stop the clock. Let's see if they give him enough forward progress for the first down, and they are going to take a timeout here for measurement.
Timeout for measurement.
So we'll read off some more of our great sponsors here that allow us to bring these football games to you over B106 and B106.com. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center for all your farm and ranch supplies, including Purina feeds and everything. Stop by any of the Ace stores in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and their newest location at 122 Custer Street in Brush. Equitable Savings and Loan, Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. With locations in Fort Morgan and Brush, they have the financial solutions for you. Looks like they are going to be just short.
Come up a little bit short on the measurement. It makes it 4th down and a little less than 1.
So it's going to be 4th in inches for Weld Central. About 4th and a foot from the 33-yard line. So we'll see what it's just going to be a keeper by their quarterback. See what they have in mind here in their tight formation. The Mustangs up on the line of scrimmage. I don't know what they're going to wind the clock with 2:56 to go in the game. And it's going to be a keeper up the middle. And now they're going to stop the clock again to Kyle to see if they got enough for the first down. See where the mark is.
I'd like to take the time to thank the Southeast World Fire Department.
And they will give them a first down on that run.
Here. First down, Rebels.
Just kind of a wedge play where the center takes off and the guards get their shoulders on his hind side, and the tackles get their shoulders on their hind sides, and the backs and the quarterback, and they basically just all fall forward for a couple yards.
From the Mustang 31.
Well conceived play when you only need 3 or 4 inches.
So 1st and 10, Rebels receivers left and right, single back, and going to be a pass over to the right side, but it is well out of the, well short of the intended receiver. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 32 for the Rebels.
Ball's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the Mustangs.
Incomplete pass.
That's good because third pass is first incomplete. He has one for 2 yards and one for 13 yards. He's a freshman coming in off the bench in replacement for Blackston, and hopefully nothing's seriously wrong with Blackston.
So 2nd and 10, tight formation for the Rebels. Man in motion left to right, and it's going to be a pitch back to the left, and he is going to be brought down inside the 30-yard line, at about the 28-yard line. So that's going to be
for the Mustangs. Gain of
about 4 yards there, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 from the 28 for the Rebels, as we're down to 2:13 in counting. Receivers left and right, single back in the backfield, under center, looking to pass, and hit as he throws the ball over the head of his intended receiver, Nebelsick. So that's going to bring up 4th and 6 for Weld Central from the 28-yard line after that incomplete pass.
And that was just inches away from being a touchdown for Weld Central. The Fort Morgan defender had come up on the ball, and the ball carried over the top, and the receiver got behind him.
It's a tight formation for Weld Central. 2 minutes to go in the game. And it's going to be another pass. This time it's going to be intercepted, this time by Richard Herrera. He's back out to the 40, to the 45. I've lost track. There he is. They finally bring him down. They're going to mark him down at the 43-yard line. So nice,
by number 8, Herrera.
Nice interception there by Richard Herrera.
That was a really nice play. Just stepped right in front of the ball. The freshman just throwing the ball to the spot where he's supposed to, not looking to see whether the defender's there. Of course, when it's 4th and 7, you pretty much have to throw where you think he's going to be because you don't have anywhere else to go with it.
So 1:52 to go in the game with the turnover. Fort Morgan receivers left and right with high backfield, and it's going to be a handoff to Baum over the right side. He cuts it back up the middle. He gets it over at the 45-yard line. And the referee on this side is marking him out about the 47.
Number 25, Baum on the carry.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd down. It was 1st down from the 43.
About 4 makes it 2nd.
So they get it out
6 for the Mustangs
to the 47-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 from the 47 for the Mustangs. With 1:20 to go in the game, Fort Morgan leading 21-0. Barry Kimball split wide right. Anderson left. High backfield with Bowman McBride. This time it's Bohm over the left side, and he gets it out across midfield. And I don't know if he's got enough for a 1st down. I can't tell exactly where they measured it. He is down inside Weld Central territory.
Close to a Mustang 1st down.
They're going to call him just short. So he'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the Mustangs with 43 seconds to go in the game.
If they get this 1st down, that'll pretty much be able to run out the clock, which I think they should be able to anyway.
So 30 seconds to go in the game and counting from the 47. And a handoff to Jose Fedor around the right end. He's going to be down the 45 to the 40, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds with 18 seconds to go.
Number 22.
So the Fort Morgan Mustangs.
I'm thinking Coach would have liked him to stay in bounds on that, and we'd be warming up the bus right now.
So one more play, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from about the 37-yard line. So that was a gain of about 10.
Fidel's 1st carry of the night.
So Fort Morgan will come out and kneel on the ball one time and put this one in the books as a victory for the Mustangs. And there's the snap and the kneel down by Joey Schneider. If they'll start the clock, we'll get this game over with, and it has started. So at the end of
That'll just about do
this
it.
hard-fought game, the Fort Morgan Mustangs come away victors,
Mustangs
21-0 over Weld Central. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. This Mustang post-game show is brought to you by High Plains Bank, hometown service on a higher plane. That's High Plains Bank. Visit the friendly staff at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins for assistance in opening a loan, equity line of credit, or checking account. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank. Well, here at Weld Central High School, the Fort Morgan Mustangs come away victorious 21-0 over the Weld Central Rebels. That was the score at the half, and that's the way it ended. So I'll go ahead and go over the scoring that took place in the first half. With 1:22 left in the first period, Fort Morgan gets a touchdown by Jared Bohm on a 1-yard run. Extra point is good by Franny Gonzalez, made the score 7-0. And that's how the first quarter came to an end. The Fort Morgan Mustangs then got the ball back their first possession of the second period, made the score 14-0 with a Franny Gonzalez extra point on a 45-yard pass from Joey Schneider to Eric Flughoff with 10:35 to go in the second period. The Mustangs then scored on their next possession. It was a 21-yard pass from Joey Schneider to Eric Kimball with 5:42 to go in the first half. Extra point also good by Franny Gonzalez. And that is where the scoring came to a stop, and that's the way the game ended. Fort Morgan came away with a couple of turnovers in the second half, picked up a fumble, and also intercepted a pass on defense. So Fort Morgan Mustang defense did a fine job tonight against the Weld Central Rebels. And on to next week against Vista Peak. We're going to take another short break and then be back with some game stats from Kevin on B106 and B106.com. Back at Weld Central High School with Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs have come away victorious tonight over Weld Central 21-0. All the points coming in the first half, a score of the second half, 2 turnovers for the Mustangs. So nice rebound game here for the Mustangs after their defeat last week to Elizabeth. But much better performance tonight for the Mustangs. And Kevin has some stats for us for the game.
Right. In the second half, not surprisingly, if you listen to the game, Weld Central did a little bit better statistically than Fort Morgan, having several really nice drives. Unfortunately for them, fortunately for the Mustangs, none of them ended in points. Weld Central ending the night with 205 yards of total offense. That comes on 4 completions on 14 attempts for 31 yards passing with 1 interception and 40 rushes for 174 yards. About 4.5 yards per carry average for Weld Central, and again, most of that coming in the second half. They ran off some nice runs. For the Mustangs, they end the night with 277 total yards, 195 of that coming on the ground on 37 carries. Bohm responsible for the majority of those with 25 carries for 157 yards, just over 6 yards per carry. Toby McBride had 7 carries for 23 yards. Jose Fidela had the 1 run for 11 yards. Joey Schneider, 2 attempts for minus 10 yards. And Tate Campbell, the freshman, coming in to spell Jared Bohm and getting 2 carries for 14 yards. Passing, Schneider ends the night with 4 completions. He just had the 2 incompletes in the second half. They didn't really pass much. So he has 4 completions for 13 yards. 4 completions out of 13 attempts for 82 yards. Most importantly, no interceptions. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 of 21 yards and 1 of 45 yards. The 1 21-yard touchdown was 1 of 2 completions by Eric Kimball. He also had 1 of 26 yards. Austin Kosman had 1 catch for 11 yards, and Flughoff, the other touchdown, 1 catch for 45 yards. again ending the night with 4 of 13 for 82 yards and 37 carries for 195, total 277 yards on offense. So as we look back at the game, it's kind of what we expected. We expected Fort Morgan to win the game. I thought maybe the way it started that they would dominate more, but to Weld Central's credit, they came storming back after half. They didn't really seem to have a game plan that was going to win it for them, but one that was going to allow them to leave with their pride. At most they were going to score a couple touchdowns and run out the clock. They never seemed to hurry. They weren't, running up the ball. They weren't changing their game plan. But to their credit, they did come back and play a tough second half. And Fort Morgan's going to have to learn from that and figure out why their second half didn't go any better. Next week, you're going to talk about the game next week. I'm sure the times and the place and all that. But for Fort Morgan, the key is going to be to play as well as they did first half the whole game, because Vista Peak has a lot of talent and has beaten some decent teams.
Yeah, it'll be a different game, and we were looking at wild card points, and right now Vista Peak is sitting at number 16, and so they were playing at Inglewood tonight, and I would guess that they would probably come away with a victory up there tonight. So Vista Peak is going to be having a lot to play for next week. I'm not sure who under them as far as wild card points, if they would be jumped or not, I don't know, but if they take care of their business tonight in beating Englewood, and they'll be all hands on deck and ready to put Fort Morgan down next week, because they want to try and get this playoff berth.
Absolutely. Vista Peak started the season with 2 games against 5A opponents. Aurora Hinckley, they lost 50-27 but then in the second game they beat Aurora Central 20-8. And so if you're familiar with the points system, the higher up division schools you play, the more points you get. So they got 20 points more, both for winning and for losing, than we would have for playing within our own classification, because they played 2 up. They also played Faith Christian and lost handily to them. But then they come back from that loss and beat a Conifer team that I think you had mentioned was ranked 3rd in the state now. Vista Peak wins that game in the middle of the season, comes back and loses 51-8 to the Classical Academy, which is somewhere in the top 10, I'm sure. So they've played a lot of highly competitive teams. They lost to Elizabeth, comparable to us, 48-12 3 weeks ago. And then they barely beat this Weld Central team 18-11. Came back last week and smoked Skyview 52-13. I'm sure that they probably put a bunch on Inglewood as well. And you're right, when we go to their house, they're going to be looking for victory and a chance for the playoffs.
Yeah, and that will be next week from what we understand. Well, we know it'll be next week, but we understand it'll be a 1 p.m. kickoff. And if there's any discrepancy in that, I'm sure John Beltran will be having the game times and next week during the sports shows on B106 and B106.com. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up this post-game show. The sound engineers and producers of Fort Morgan Mustangs football have been Braden Godin and Michaela Klimper. The producer for Mustang Replay is Alan Lance, and the coordinating producer for high school football is Brandy Ingersoll. For Kevin Rohde, I'm Brian Nickel. The final score tonight, Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustang football on B106 and B106.com. Good night, everybody.